I've just arrived in Leeds and I'm here to meet a father and son team that are shaking up the caviar business by creating sustainable farming practices. I'm going to make some delicious party food with it, including a taramasalata, some flatbread, and then something very tasty with Maris Piper potatoes. Hello, gents.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm John.
Nice to see you.
Mark.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Want to come in?
Let's do it. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Look at the size of them. I had no idea they were that big.
We have 12 tanks and they're in 4 polytunnels and we've got 284 fish.
So, John, why do you love what you do?
Primarily, it's a family business.
Now, it's a family business. I would kill my dad if I worked with him.
There's ups and downs and squabbles, but you know, we're both passionate about it.
The way we set it up was Mark would run the husbandry side and I would look after the caviar and the business side of it.
And so why did you want to do it sustainably?
Initially because Mark wanted to breed sturgeon and then release sturgeon back into the wild.
I wanted to find a way to change even a smidgen of the caviar industry.
So, John, what's different about your farming technique?
But we don't kill the sturgeon. We wait till the fish naturally spawns the eggs and then we can go through our patented process and then we can can the eggs. I like being a bit of a pioneer, and so this is a challenge that we're converting people one by one to go to ethical caviar. Got some caviar for you.
Oh, mate, just look at this. Can I dig in? I just can't.
Yep, please
wait.
do. Yep.
Really quite big eggs, aren't they?
Yeah, this is probably from a fish that's 12 years old. The Michelin stars love it. They just say it's better than what they've tasted before.
It's like a seaweed salty butter cream.
Yeah.
But it's got that sophisticated sort of texture that you associate with caviar. Give me a couple of hours, I'm going to rustle up some great food and feed you up.
But
caviar is such an extravagance, really, but because of the way that KC Caviar produced their sustainable caviar, it's a third of the price. I'm going to use it in a taramasalata. I'm going to top some beautiful Maris Piper potatoes. I'm going to make some fresh flatbread. So let's crack on with those potatoes. Maris Piper potatoes and a mandolin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wafer thin slices of potato that I'm going to put some beef dripping on, a little bit of salt, put them back together and then trim around them. Grease the baking tray a little bit with beef fat. And then just start dropping your potatoes down. Presentation is everything with these potatoes, so I'm just going to get a toothpick to hold the potatoes in place. And then into the oven. At 170 on circa therm with medium added steam. What that means is that it's going to make sure that the potatoes inside are nice and fluffy. And for the last 20 minutes, I'm going to turn it off so then they become super crunchy on the outside. Now it's time to make the taramasalata. First up, I'm going to get half a red onion, very roughly chopped. A clove and a half of garlic, the zest of a lemon. Now I'm going to add 200 mils water and then we're going to blitz that until it's a pulp. Now what you need to do is just put some muslin or a tea towel into the jug and then pour the liquid through. Just squeeze out the water and what you get is that red onion, lemon and garlic and it's ready to go into our dip. Next up, I've got about 150 grams of white bread that's just been soaking in some water and all I'm going to do is just drain that water out and then same thing into another tea towel and we'll completely get all that moisture out. What an extravagance, a caviar taramasalata. 30 grams of caviar into your food processor. And then the 2 pastes I made, let's drop those in as well. The lemon we zested, now we're going to add the juice, a little bit of salt, and then some freshly cracked pepper. Lid on and blitz. You need to blitz it like that for 3 or 4 minutes to make sure that all the eggs are incorporated, and then we're going to start adding the different oils. 100 mils of olive oil and 200 mils of vegetable oil, and that's developed into our dip now. It's really luscious and thick. Okay, now it's time for the flatbread. We need 450 grams of flour, and then we're going to add 350 grams of natural yogurt, a teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, and that's it. Lid on and then pulse it together. Let's get it out, move it in your hands, dust your surface with just a little bit of flour, break off a piece from your main dough, dab it on the flour that's on the surface. So roll it out to the thickness of a pound coin. What I love about this is it's rustic. You don't need it in a certain shape. So that's the sort of thickness that you want it to be. And you might think, oh, that's too thin, but remember it's got the baking powder in, so when it goes onto the griddle, the heat will just make it rise. Dust off any excess flour from your bread and get it onto your griddle. So they've been on there for a couple of minutes. Let's just give them a flip. I mean, just look at that. Is there anything better than freshly made bread? There isn't. So a couple of minutes on either side until they've got those nice score marks, and then it's time to plate up. The last of our bread is done. Let's take it off. We've got our dip from earlier. I'm just gonna try some because I've been waiting for this one. Oh, it's so good. They work so well together. Oh, I could just eat that all day. Let's set it up now. Drop some bread on the side. Your guests are gonna just adore this. Pile it up nice and high, and then we're going to get some more caviar, and we're just going to garnish a little bit on top, a little bit of lemon, just a little squeeze, and then take a little bit of salt, just drop it on the top, and that's really crunchy. And then what you've got there is adult popping candy. Let's put that aside and check on the potatoes. Oh, it's not just potato. Look at it. It's become something that's a really crunchy golden morsel with a little bit of caviar on the top. It's going to become the ultimate party food. Potato is the perfect thing to go with caviar, and then when it's crunchy, oh, so good. Take a little bump of caviar and just put it on the top. Look how pretty it looks. I'm gonna just have one. They won't miss it. I think the guys are going to absolutely love what I've done with their caviar. Let's take it out to them and see what they think. Right, guys.
Oh, here he is.
Caviar and potato bites. Look at those guys.
They look brilliant.
Dig in.
Delicious.
It's lovely, isn't it, with the yogurt in there, and then it's toasted.
Absolutely scrumptious.
What do you think of your caviar?
Absolutely delicious.
Good with potato, isn't it?
Especially with potato.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for having me over.
Thank you.
Thank you for this.